Hey, shalom, shalom.
HaYawam.
HaYawam to Wild, which is good day. A knock now HaDabar Shal. Hey, we the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua to preach to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, Israelite foreigners. Nacham, Adam, Kaya, Hamalak, Wath Hashemayim, Korah. Repent ye for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. First and foremost, before we get started, I'm going to say, call Layim La, Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua Bahasham Chahakodash. A double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and rule well. And much respect to you bros out there pushing this truth with all righteousness and sincerity. Shalom, shalom.
HaYawam.
All right, so essentially today we're going to go into an edition of HaDabar Shal HaYawam, which is the word of the day, all right, which is Ga'ah, which means pride. All right, I got written here essentially the breakdown of the word. Is it visible, bro?
God, you good.
All right. All right, so it goes into Ga'ah, all right, with the Ga going into a foot, all right, with the Ah going into first. All right, because essentially when you go into a foot, can we get the definition of a foot, Uncle Shaw?
God. So this is the definition of a foot. It reads, the complex anatomy of the foot and ankle together with the remainder of the lower limb functions to efficiently support the body weight and provide for locomotion.
Right. It's to support and to provide the body with locomotion. So essentially it carries and it also lifts you. You know, when something lifts you, it supports you. So that's what it goes into. All right. The God goes into the foot. All right. And the foot's function is to lift and to carry. All right. Then we go into Ah, and we understand that Bahalat Bayath in the alphabet, Bahalat Shalom Kadash in the Holy Tongue. All right, I goes into first or the number one. So first, all right, it's going into preeminence or it goes into strength. You see, but when you got strength, it's preeminent, so it lifts you to strength, and that's essentially what pride goes into. Ga'ah is lifting strength or carrying strength. All right, it's a false sense of security. It's a false sense of pride specifically for that moment. All right, and Amar Shanat to say again, Ga'ah. All right, that's the word of the day. All right, HaDabar Shal HaYawam. We're going to start with, I'm going to show you Proverbs 12 and verse 19, Baruch Shah.
God. This is Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 19. It reads, the lip of truth shall be established forever, but a
Mm-hmm.
lying tongue is but for a moment.
Right, the lying tongue is but for a moment. You see, the scripture also say that, um, knowest thou not this of old, but the joy of a hypocrite but for a moment. You see, roughly paraphrasing, that's because they rule and they their lifestyle is specifically in pride. You know, they have that false sense of security, that false sense of confidence. You know, it's not essentially what gives you strength. We understand that what the scriptures say. Could we get? I'm gonna get Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 4.
I'm right
This
here.
is okay. Count the water.
It's Proverbs 22 and 4. It reads, by humility and the fear of the Lord
Uh
are
huh.
riches and honor and life.
Right. So it said by humility. All right. Humility is humiliation. All right. On the right hand side, you see, being humble. It said by humility is riches and honor. It said by keep running back. It's a lot.
Okay. Proverbs 22 and 4. By humility and the fear of the Lord are
Mm-hmm.
riches and honor and life.
Right. It said the fear of the Lord, because that's what truly brings you to strength. The scriptures say in Proverbs chapter 14, it says through the fear of the Lord, there is strong confidence. You see something that you can abide in, something you can confide in, you know, something you can trust. All right, not a false sense of security. All right,
God, I got one for you.
Con, you go ahead.
This is Proverbs 29 and verse 23. A man's pride shall bring him low,
Mm-hmm.
but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit.
Oh, you got it, bro.
Right. So, like the brother had mentioned in the breakdown of the word, right? The only thing that can truly hold you, that can truly offer you, what's the word that can lift you up, is the
Mm-hmm.
honor and the fear of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man.
Right.
Right. The living in the righteous way and following after his way and not your own ways.
Mm-hmm. Could you hold? Could you hold? We'll get. We'll get that later. This is the HaYawam Psalm chapter 12 verse 1. It says, "Help, Lord, for the godly man ceaseth." You see, could the scriptures say, Baba Kashah, could you get Isaiah 59 and 15? Baba Kashah. I'm read it again. This is the HaYawam Psalms chapter 12 and verse 1. It says, "Help, Lord, for the godly man ceaseth, for the faithful fell from among the children of men."
Okay, you want that now?
Mhm.
It's Isaiah 59, verse 15. Yea, truth faileth, and he
Mhm.
that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord saw it and was displeased at him. And it displeased him that there was no judgment.
Right. Going back to this precept right here at the HaYawam Psalms 12 and 1, it says, "Help, Lord, for the godly man ceaseth." You see, because the wicked is in rulership, and we understand that the wicked rules in pride, you know. He is that proud, that lying tongue, you know, and that's essentially what the rest of the world is following after. I'm gonna keep going. It says, "They speak vanity, everyone with his neighbor, with flattering lips, and with a double heart do they speak." It says, "The Lord shall cut off all flattering lips, and the tongue that speaketh proud things, who have said with our tongue we will prevail." You see, going back to the definition of the word, God, all right, God, going to the foot, lifting or carrying, and it says, who have said with our tongue we will prevail. So they ultimately relying on their own pride. And you going into it goes into first, but we understand that first means preeminence. You see, so they're carrying preeminence because they feel like they're gonna win with their tongue. I'm gonna keep going. It says, Proverbs, Psalms 12 and 4, "Who have said with our tongue, we will prevail, our lips are our own, who is Lord over us." Hey, and that's pride, man. You see, I'm going to keep going to verse 5. It says,
I got one real quick for you.
go ahead.
It's Proverbs 14 and verse 3. In the mouth of the foolish is a rod of pride, but the lips of the wise shall preserve them.
Right. The lips of the wise shall preserve them. You see, because it shows humility. You see, because we understand in the scriptures it says, by humility, what we ultimately would get the kingdom. You see, if we endure Lord's will. You know, but speaking them proud things, we already see what the Lord does to proud men. You know, Conor McGregor, you know, he's a fighter. One time he was in the ring, he was like, he said they can put anybody. He confident in there. They can put anybody in the ring. You know, he will beat JC himself. While that's not his, the Lord's name. You see, the Lord still, gave him just desserts for even, fixing his mouth to say something like that. You know,
Right.
he said he will if they put the Most High in there, he will beat him. You know, and that's a proudful thing. You know.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna keep going. This is Psalms 12 and 5. It says, "For the oppression of the poor, for the sighing of the needy, now will I arise, saith the Lord. I will set him in safety from him that puffeth at him." You see, and that's ultimately going into those that's in that proud spirit. You know, because
Mhm.
Esau Edom, he is the harbinger of pride. You know, and it said the scripture say that he's coming down with great wrath. You see, so the Lord is working throughout the earth. You know, he's glorifying his name first and foremost, you see, and then he's glorifying and justifying Hamashiach Yahweh Shah, and then the men on down, you know, essentially because they're abiding in humility, you know.
Yeah.
let's get let's get Proverbs chapter could you get Psalm chapter 28 and verse 3 to 5, and then I'm gonna get Proverbs 6, and then
Okay.
that'll be it.
This is Psalm 28 and verse 3. Draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but
Mm-hmm.
mischief is in their hearts.
You keep going.
Give them according to their deeds and according to the wickedness of their endeavors.
Mm-hmm.
Give them after the work of their hands. Render to them their deserts, because they regard not the works of the Lord, nor the operation of his hands. He
Mm-hmm.
shall destroy them and not build them up.
Right. So we ultimately see what pride has gotten this earth, you know. Everything is mourning in the earth. You know, the air is fucked up. You know, we've seen what wickedness has gotten in the past. You know, it doesn't work. All right, this earth was supposed to be ran with the scriptures. All right, it's not being ruled in the scriptures. All right, so we understand that by humility, ultimately is um, what's going to get us the kingdom. You see, and we understand that humility ultimately runs the world, makes the world go around. You know how they say money makes the world go around. Well, humility makes the world go around. You know.
Right.
I got a quick one. This is Proverbs chapter 6, and let's get verse 14. It says, verse 15, no 16 says, These 6 things doeth the Lord hate. Yes, 7 are an abomination unto him, a complete amount of things. It says a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift and running to mischief. It says a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. All right, and ultimately, all those are prideful actions. All right, those are not rooted in the fear of the Lord. But you see, because in the fear of the Lord, you will understand that the Lord is what gives us the strength. You know, it's going back to Proverbs. Let's get there real fast. We'll get Proverbs 14, and we'll go ahead and close. Did you have anything else, bro?
I had a quick one
You go ahead and get it.
because, as we read in Obadiah, it says the pride of thine heart has deceived thee, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these devils are in a position to where, they think that they can accomplish everything that they endeavor, right? As we read in that Psalms.
Mm-hmm.
But this is going to be the result. This is Isaiah 2:11. The lofty looks of man shall be humbled, the
Mm-hmm.
haughtiness of man shall be bowed down, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. For the Lord of hosts shall be upon every one that is proud and lofty, and upon every one that is lifted up, he shall be brought low. Right? So this is what the Lord, he's bringing low the proud, man. Right? That proud man is being removed, out of power, and he's setting up the humble, man, the meek.
Could you run back that last part, Baba Shah?
God.
It said lift it up.
Mm-hmm. God, it's Isaiah 2:12. For the day of Yahweh Shai, Lord of hosts, shall be upon every one that is proud and lofty, and
Yep.
upon every one that is lifted up, and
Right.
he shall be brought low.
He shall be brought low. It said everyone that is lifted up, going back to the definition. All right, because all right, it goes into the foot. It's lifting. It's that lifting strength going into that pride ultimately. All right, I got 2 more, and we go ahead and close it. This is Mashal, Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 24. Verse 26, it says, in the fear of the Lord is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge. Because the scriptures say that the name of the Lord is a strong tower, the righteous runneth into it and are saved, roughly paraphrasing. 27, the fear of the Lord is a fountain of life to depart from the snares of death. All right, and ultimately, going back to Psalms 28 and verses 3 to 5, the Lord's going to reward those that have been prideful in this earth, because that's ultimately how you escape the snares of death. All right, by repenting from that pride, Shabbat, La Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh, returning to the Lord. You see. You have anything else, bro?
Let me see. Hold on, Salaki. No, that was it.
Good. Hey, Adonai Ratazaza by Nayapa, Lord's will does a beautiful edification through the Spirit. Why Adonai Ratazah, Adam Yashimam Tawab, hey, Lord's will. You all have a good day. We go ahead and close it up by saying, Carl, Light, La, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Cha, Kodash, a double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us his truth and rule well. And much respect to you, bros, that they're pushing this truth with all righteousness and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. HaYawam, Yahweh, Mahar, La, Bachayar, may God speak to the elect. Shalom, shalom.